We're going to learn 3 easy songs. In the beginning, I'm going to give you a few of the techniques that I use to develop the song, and then I'm just going to play the song slowly all the way through. The first one is Star of the County Down, which is a traditional Celtic song. The techniques I'm going to use are the chords. The time signature is 6/8, so the chords are going to be 3 notes. Then I'm going to play the melody in between the chords. And generally the only time the notes will happen at the same time between the right and the left hand will either be at the beginning of the phrase or the end. So for example, the beginning of this song goes like this. And then these 2 notes are at the same time. Then the melody continues, and then the chords by itself. And then the melody continues. So notice that the hands are generally playing separate. So very slowly I'm going to play the first part. But notice I'm still keeping time, even though I'm not filling out the time in the left hand. And this has a nice full sound, much easier to play than if you're trying to play the full rhythm in the left hand. The other thing I want to add into this one is articulating the down notes, the notes going down. So on the second part of the melody, notice I do a pull-off. I'll exaggerate it right here. Now I go to the next part, and I'll do the pull-offs down. So look for those pull-offs because that adds a lot more depth and tone into your playing. All right, so here's the song played slowly in that form. So there's Star of the County Down. In the next piece, the trick is going to be descending thirds for the arrangement, like this, in that manner, and I'll lay that out for you. In the left hand, you're going to play the same chord shapes. This time we're going to fill it out, meaning we're going to play 4 notes per measure, and so we're going to play root, 5th, 3rd, 5th. So that'll be the chords in the left hand. In the right hand, I'm going to play descending thirds. So I'll break this down for you slowly. Here's starting on D, the first chord. And then what I do on the beat number 1 is I move down a third to this shape with the A chord. Then down another whole step. And now down another half step. Then instead of going here, I go here. I like to keep the hands not too far apart, and then down here. And notice that chord shape, I'm actually playing root, octave, 5th. And then back to the G shape, up to the A. And I come up this way because it lines me back up with the first chord. I've also found in playing that sometimes bigger hand movements can be a little bit more difficult because of the way that you're trying to orient yourself. So you really want to practice that as well. Moving your arm, your hand up and down. Okay, so here's the piece played slowly. And then of course you can develop that song a lot further with the melody. More full chords like this. And then add the melody. I'll play it really slowly and let you work on that, even slower. Play the chords like that. There's some ideas for you. So there's some ideas to get started on that song. Okay, one more. We're going to do a little bit of a blues style. So the chords in this one will be a little different shape. Again, I'm picking ones that are easy to finger and sound good. So here's C minor 7, like that, to an F7. There's your bass in the middle. And then G sharp 7, which is a nice sharp 5 chord. D7 and G7. In the right hand, what we're going to do is we're going to just begin to work on blues phrasing. So we're going to play this scale pattern. That. That's the scale that we're going to generally stay in. Now I'm going to show you how to practice a little bit of improvisation, but it's going to be easy to do. We're going to take on the technique of Star of the County Down, the first song we did, by doing this. We're going to play the chord in 3 notes. It's easier to do that at first. That really gets you oriented. Later, and you work on playing the chord at the same time, which is a little bit harder. So we play the 3 notes. Now play a couple notes in the scale. And the same thing, left hand. And then the same thing, left hand. Maybe a pull-off. Another chord, a trill. And then another chord. A bend. A slide. So the idea here is to practice starting to get your blues phrasing and everything going by just playing the chord and playing in between it. So I'll do a little bit of that. As I go, I'm going to throw in a few diatonic notes. I always like to do that. Where they are is, here's your blues scale. The diatonic notes are here. Where these 4 notes are, I reach down and I go. That. So in between these 4 notes here, I use this note and this note. Those notes are borrowed from the major key or the minor key, basically from the diatonic scale. So a phrase might go back to the pentatonic. Okay, so here's me doing this type of a practicing technique. Eventually, you can start playing the chords like this, like the Canon. In other words, 4 notes per beat, and start playing a little bit there. Maybe stay on 2 chords here. A little chromatic. Every note in between. So forth and so on, and start hitting the chords, all kinds of things. But this is a nice simple technique you can start to work with to build up your blues and jazz type playing abilities. Again, just playing one hand and then the other, and then starting to gradually mix them together. Okay, I hope this helps.